What's up, y'all? It's Fitch and I'm back with a new video today. And today I wanted to talk about my filmmaking journey. So I've been doing film for a couple of years now. Although I'm pretty young in my filmmaking life, I have still picked up a couple of tricks and a couple of tips from my filmmaking career that I would love to share with you. So basically, I'm gonna give you these tips that I wish I had when I started my filmmaking journey a couple of years back. So the first tip that I would give is trying to get things done first before trying to get things perfect. A lot of time, us filmmakers or videographers, photographers, whatnot, we aim for a high level of perfection or a high level of standard for ourselves. And sometimes that doesn't allow you to get things done because you are so focused on trying to get something perfect that you don't get anything done. So you start a project and you want it to look that way, it doesn't look that way, and you just stop the project entirely, and you end up with 5 unfinished projects. Something done is better than perfect. So make sure that you finish the stuff you start. It doesn't matter if it doesn't look like you wanted it to look at the beginning, finish it. And once you're done, learn from that. But don't let a project sit there just because you know it's going to be a failure at the end, right? Finish your work and learn from that work. The second thing I would like to give as a tip is resource filmmaking, right? So a lot of us are gear tech nerds, right? We love gear, we love Arri Alexas, we love these beautiful cameras, we love these beautiful mics, these beautiful lenses, but a lot of times we can't afford them. Most times we don't have them, and sometimes we get into this narrative, this mindset, and I'm faulty from that, that because we don't have these gear, we can't do film like this guy or that guy does it. But we have to get away from that mindset and think about what is around us, what resources do we have available to us, and try to make our projects around those resources. For example, if I have a friend or cousin or an uncle that, I don't know, owns a restaurant, then okay, I can make a film and a restaurant setting because I know that I can get a restaurant from my uncle or my cousin. You know, if I have a friend that have this or that, then I can shoot that or that with that friend. If I don't know or I don't have any money to hire very well-known actors or actors period, maybe I have a friend that wants to get into acting that would love to act in my short film, you know, or I want to shoot some models but I don't have money to pay models from agencies, or maybe I have a friend that is an aspiring model or wants to become a model or just looks good and I can take photos of that person. So use this notion of resources and getting help from people around you and building from that to create content from film or for photography. Because if you limit yourself and tell yourself that you can't do something because you don't have this or that, then you won't go forward. And trust me, I'm still dealing with that. Sometimes I'm like, man, I can't do this shot because I don't have a crane, you know? But hey, I started trying to find another way to do it with what you have, okay? So that was the second tip. The third tip, and that one's probably a hard one, is that you need to expect and embrace failure, okay? You are going to fail, okay? That is the part that is hard, but it is a part of it. It's the part of the process. You will fail. Everyone fails. The biggest and greatest filmmakers have failed. Steven Spielberg has failed, you know, like Annie Leibovitz has failed. The biggest stars have failed. It is okay to fail. You need to accept that failure is part of the process, and instead of fearing failure, embrace it. And once you do, you will learn from it. It's better for you to fail as much as possible actually when you start, because you can learn from these mistakes that are not going to be that costly at the beginning. You know, like let's say you shoot your first short or your first photo shoot and you lose the footage. I know it's terrible. It's probably the end of the world for you, but the consequences of that are not as big as if you were in your 15th production and that happens. So don't be afraid to fail in the beginning. Fail a lot, fail as much as you want, because you have to learn from these mistakes and then move forward. Okay, so don't be afraid to fail. The next tip I want to give you is that you don't have to do it all on your own. Okay, at the beginning, I was like that. I was a jack of all trades, you know, I would do everything by myself. But the thing is, you're not alone. There's probably people in your community that have the same interests as you and that are willing to participate in your projects. For example, you know, I like to direct film, you know, but I do not enjoy sound designing or sound work or editing sound. At first, I used to do everything by myself, of course, but I was able to find people that had a love for these other aspects that I personally didn't really love that much. And now we're making content together and it's elevated because we are each working on what we love. If you don't need to, don't do everything by yourself. Find people, surround yourself with people that want to grow in the same direction as you and that want to work on these type of projects as well. So do that, you know, go to festivals, go to photographer meets that happen, you know, like do these different type of networking events and meet people, you know, go online, go on Instagram and see who's out there doing the same stuff you're doing and connect with these people because you're gonna learn from them, and you helping them and them helping you will elevate both of your works. So yeah, collaboration is key. So that was tip number 4. The 5th tip I actually want to give you guys is that there's not just one way. This is especially for people that want to get into film, but also into photography or other type of creative work, is that there's not just one way to make it. There's not just one way to get to where you want. For example, traditionally for film, you know, you would say, okay, I'm gonna have to go to film school, then I'm gonna have to make a short, maybe get into the festivals, get my name out there, start working as a PA and a big production, and then from there, I'll direct at some point in time, you know? Although that is a way to do it, and that's probably the traditional way, it's not the only way. And a lot of times we tell ourselves that, oh, I have to do it this way because that's the only way. And the truth is, these type of industries are so malleable. It's not one size fit all like accounting. You know, accounting, you have to go to accounting school and then get your degree and then you become an accountant. But for film or photography or these other types of disciplines, you don't have that one size fit all. So there's not just one way. So trust your process and try to do as much as you can to get ahead and not thinking about like, oh, this guy did it this way, so I have to do it the way that guy did it, right? So it's a journey and there's many different ways to get to that point. Now, the last tip I'm going to give for today is learn the rules so you know when and how to break them. Okay, that has happened to me multiple times and I'm sure it might happen again in the future, right? Especially when it comes to photography and film, there are rules that you should follow. For example, in film, the 180-degree rules, you know, there's a lot of different rules that are set there that are there to help you. 3-point lighting, okay? You need to learn those rules because when you want to break them purposely, you will know how to do it and how it makes sense. Okay, I know that a lot of times people break the 180 rule and then they don't know that they did, you know, and then they're like, yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to break the 180 rule. No, you were not. Okay, because you don't know how that works, right? So make sure that you learn the rules, okay, and then you know how to break them. Because yes, there are filmmakers, photographers that break the rules all the time, but they know the rules, so they know when and how to break those rules. So don't forget that, guys. And that's about it for today. This is all I had to give. If I have more tips to give you guys, I'll make another video about tips. So let me know what you think. And if you have anything you want to say, leave that in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video and follow this channel if you like it. And I am out. Peace.